This morning we're going to start with taking the bumper off. Let's do that first. We need to pull the indicators off, which is literally a little spring clip inside. And there's 2 screws either side holding the trim on, which the trim slots into your front grille. So obviously you need to pull these off first before you can remove your grille. This will then gain you access to your bumper bolts. So then you can undo your bumper, pull your bumper off, all ready for fitting your new bumper. But the fiddly bit is getting the little clips out here. No. The whole framework in here is all bent right inside the wheel arch. I was just stopping it from coming out. Washer jets on your headlights aren't connected, which makes life easier. I'm basically going to just tap the bolts back a bit. Tom, yeah. Come here. Oh. It's all yours. Okay. Pulling off. Alright. There you go. You're gone. Right. You steer in a bit. And your plastic cover over the top. Normally, you will get pipes on here for your washer jets. You haven't got any on there on this one, which do need blocking off when you remove the bumper. Basically now we've got a D44 low-line winch bumper to go on this vehicle. As you can see, we've already removed the standard bumper, so now it's all ready to go. So we just sort the parts out for it and get bolting it back on. The chassis on this vehicle, as you can see, is in good condition. If your chassis was looking rustier or a bit more deteriorated, you could just wire brush it off and give it a quick repaint as soon as you got the bumper off, just to prolong the life of your vehicle. Instead of a standard bumper which comes down really low with a plastic trim on it, would be a lot higher bumper with a better approach angle, a heavy duty bumper as well, so if you do hit it, it won't bend as easy as a standard bumper, and it's got the facility to take a winch on it as well. This here is a Discovery 1 non-winch long wing. The reason why it's called a long wing is you've got longer wings here for if you've got a standard vehicle without wheel arch flares on it. So with wider wheel arch flares, it brings the wheel arch further forward, so we do a short wing version. So if you're running wheel arch flares and bigger tyres, you can see here we've got the heavy duty recovery eyes on it, a nice thick plate which bolts directly to the chassis. We've also got longer mounting points here which go further back along the chassis and pick up on bigger bolts as well. You've still got your standard 4 bolts at the front here to hold the bumper on. This is a non-winch version, but there's also available a winch version for the low-line winch range as well. One in. Down a bit. Right, this here is our D44 low line long wing winch bumper. You can see here we've got heavy duty recovery eyes on it. Winch mounting hard side here, fair lead holes, all ready to go for your winch. Any sort of low-line winch pattern, like an XT9000i, Warren 9.5 Ti, anything along those sort of lines, will all bolt directly into this bumper. We call it a long wing version, because the wings on this one go right back in line with your wheel arch, so you don't have any gaps on here. We also do a short wing version for if you're fitting wheel arch flares, which obviously you can fit around here and you cut a lot of your wheel arch out, so we do a short wing version to fit in line with the wheel arch flares as well. So it's completely down to customers' preferences on which bumper they have. You can see the bumper's already sat on here. Another feature it has as well is longer mounting points underneath here, which go back further along the chassis to give it more strength and rigidity. This is just mainly for when you're winching. It gives a lot more strength and rigidity to the bumper and spreads the load across the chassis more evenly. These are M10 by 120 bolts through the front here, holding the bumper on. You've got an M12 by 130 back here to hold the bumper on. You also use your standard bolt on this side, on the driver's side, which goes through your steering box arm Start, we're just going to get all the bolts caught on and nipped up just slightly, so we've still got movement in the bumper to get it lined up with the bodywork of the vehicle. Once we're happy with the line of the vehicle and the bumper together, we'll do the bolts up tight then. Get it lined pretty good along there, and I'll just... It's going to move your oil cooler back slightly and up a bit higher, just so that the pipework clears the bumper. So pipework's just slightly different on this one to normal. Here's the oil cooler now. I've just moved it up about 1 inch. It's all clear of the bumper. It's all nice and securely fastened, so it isn't going to move anywhere. So it's next stage done. First, the grille. We need a slight bit of trimming. As you can see where it lines up here. You just put a little slot on it to fit over this web here. To fit the winch now, you have your failure bolt on and your winch bolt on, but you'd also need to trim out a lot more of this front edge here to get your winch to fit in. And what we would quite often do as well is do a larger cutout in this sort of area, so you've got space to get your hand in there to operate your free spool.